What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back, and from Politico, Sinema trashes Dems. Old dudes eating Jello. Well, that's putting it nicely because I can almost be certain they're doing far more sinister things than that. If all they were doing was eating Jello, then we wouldn't be in this predicament, but here we are. In Sinema, she seems to be taking a step in the right direction, but she's not clean. None of these people are clean. They're all completely despicable, and she does look a little bit ridiculous in this hot pink jacket and glasses combo, but that's not what this is about. They say, ever since Senator Kyrsten Sinema became an independent in December, her Democratic colleagues have been restrained about the shift, careful not to alienate the Arizona lawmaker when they only have a single seat majority and need her support on legislation and nominees. Hoping to get through this year and then gain clarity about whether Sinema will even seek re-election in 2024, let alone caucus with her old party, Senate Democrats have dodged questions about the mercurial marathoner who's still barely in their ranks. So Politico is obviously going to do the bidding for the political establishment, and that's why they throw out this little slight here. Will she even seek re-election? That's them just throwing it out into the ether because she hasn't obeyed every single command she's gotten off the plantation. She's registered as an independent, so we're not even sure if she plans to run again because she can't run against this machine. You know what I mean? It's really early, Senator Gary Peters of Michigan, who chairs the Senate Democratic campaign arm, told me, I don't know what she's planning on doing, but Sinema may be making the Democrats' deliberations easier as she races to stockpile money and post an impressive statement-making first quarter fundraising number. Sinema has used a series of Republican-dominated receptions and retreats this year to belittle her Democratic colleagues, shower her GOP allies with praise, and in one case, quite literally give the middle finger to President Joe Biden's White House. Okay, so Politico is going to smear her and basically say, I mean, this isn't a complete smear job, but look, she's getting so close with Republicans. Yeah, because the Democratic establishment has gone completely insane. They're drunk on power. They want to control everybody. They want to turn the little boys into little girls. The list goes on. So it, unfortunately, and I think for better or for worse, I should say, you aren't going to find many people out there who are really going to just be like, yeah, I love the Republican Party. Nobody really likes those people, but they are the lesser of two evils at this particular point in time, right? If you guys weren't so insane with all these, heavy-handed policies and extreme gender ideology and fear-mongering, the sun monster, all this stuff, then you wouldn't have to deal with this razor-thin majority, and you wouldn't have to, pretend that everybody. I mean, these are the same people who refuse to even debate their opponent. They refuse to go on and I don't even want to say not friendly, but they won't talk to anybody who's not going to lob them softballs, right? So they're going to, she's with her GOP allies. Dude, it's just that you guys have completely lost the plot. Speaking in private, whether one-on-one with small groups of Republican senators, she's even more cutting, particularly about Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who is the scumbag of all scumbags, right? They will always want to talk about rhetoric and inciting violence. Oh, and Donald Trump, he said to protest. Bro, you had Chuck Schumer on the steps of the Capitol building talking about, oh, you're going to pay if you write a bill about abortion. I mean, these guys are completely insane. Same thing with Mad Max Waters out there in LA on a literal soapbox telling you to get in their face if somebody you don't agree with. Hillary Clinton talking about we can't be civil. I mean, the list goes on, but they project every single thing they do directly across the aisle. And while 99.9% of Republicans are spineless little weasels, they are less insane than the Democratic Party. That's just I guess it's an opinion, but my opinion is just as good as fact. Sinema's snipping spree has delighted Republican lawmakers, lobbyists, and donors who've taken in the show, giving some of them hope that she can be convinced to caucus with the GOP, either in this Congress or in this case, she's reelected as an independent. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who Sinema has acidosis, what? I don't know that word, I'm sorry, courted. Oh, yeah, so Sinema is courting Mitch McConnell. I don't know if I buy that. They're just trying to smear it like, look how close she's talking to Republicans. She's reaching across the aisle. Bro, you guys have completely lost the plot. That's why she turned into an independent. We should have actually more people like her. I don't know why this isn't happening, but when they do, they get smeared by the machine. You could look at Tulsi Gabbard or Andrew Yang, who he started his entirely new party. And as soon as they do that, they basically stop short of calling you an agent of Russia, because I guess Hillary Clinton is still, calling the shots behind the scenes. It's entirely possible, however, that such a Republican doesn't run or can't clear a primary in Arizona's MAGA field state party, whatever that's supposed to mean. That's them, of course, taking shots at and right, they talk about MAGAfied state party, not MAGA field, MAGAfied. It's a word they completely made up to try to smear people who don't agree with the establishment. MAGAfied state party, which also raises the question, how did Governor Katie Hobbs actually win? It doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. I can't go into it in detail, but if you look, and I realize that social media is not real, but we're talking about hundreds of thousands of, difference in support. And somehow Katie Hobbs comes out on top. After we should have known the moment she said, I'm not going to debate, that the machine was working for her and they were going to stop at nothing to install that woman. And here we are. So Politico coming up with this new term, MAGAfied state party. All right, good job, guys. Show us who you really work for. Former Governor Doug Ducey has made it clear he's not interested. First-term Rep. Juan Ciscomani, is likely to accrue more House seniority. And the most attainable option, Karen Taylor Robeson, just lost the gubernatorial primary to Kari Lake. With near total name identification among Arizona Republicans and the affection of one Donald J. Trump, Lake would enter the Senate race as an odds-on favorite to be the GOP nominee. Which all raises the question for McConnell. Should his efforts to woo a mainstream Republican fail, would he be better off attempting to cut a deal with Sinema? Oh, these ads are just so intrusive, it makes it hard to read. Would he be better off attempting to cut a deal with Sinema or hope a candidate like Lake can prevail in a three-way race against current and former Democrat? One political arrangement, Sinema could remain an independent but caucus with the Republicans in exchange for a ceasefire in spending from the National Republican Senatorial Committee and McConnell's super PAC. I don't even know what's happening here. This is now they're completely in the weeds. The point is that Kyrsten Sinema, look at it, just goes on and on. It's a 5,000 word hit piece on Kyrsten Sinema because she hasn't obeyed every single talking point, every single agenda of the Democratic Party, and we know that's exactly how it works with anybody. Obviously, most notably Don Lemon recently, and the chick from the Young Turks, what's her name, Anna Kasparian, who has been lambasted by the blue check Twitter weirdos because she said she didn't want to be called a birthing person. But that's how crazy the party has got. And so for her to call them just old dudes eating Jello is a little bit strange because all we hear about is the extreme faction of, the birthing person crowd and the snip crowd, the transformer crowd. But you don't hear really anything about the weirdo old guys who apparently are eating Jello in a back room somewhere, all of which we could do without. We don't need any of those people. And Kyrsten Sinema is making that point, so Politico has to do a minor little hit piece about how she's getting too close to Republicans, even though they, unfortunately, at this particular point in time, are the lesser of two evils. So shout out to her. She needs to stop with this weird matchy hot pink stuff, but she's going in the right direction. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and, of course, subscribe.